welcome back. So I wish I could do super cool illusions like Zack King, but I can't. However, I can do a super cool drawing illusion. So grab your markers and your pencils and hold on for dear life, because we're doing this really fast. Now you're probably wondering, Lane, why are you drawing Zack King? Well, there's a few reasons. First of all, he's a great YouTuber, but also, okay, this is kind of embarrassing, but I'm gonna admit it. I had this crazy dream about Zack King last night. I don't know if you've had dreams like this before, but you see, I dreamed that I was locked in this medieval prison. But this is like no ordinary dungeon, okay? This is like a prison of illusions. And it was just filled with staircases. You see, there was hundreds of staircases. They were going all these different directions. Further than I could even see. And some of them were even upside down. And I knew I had to escape from this prison. And the only way was to climb up these stairs. And it looked impossible. I was like, how am I gonna climb up those stairs? But until I realized that gravity acts a little differently, especially in a dream. And so I started to navigate the stairs and figure out where they went to. But the more I walked and the more stairs I climbed, the more panic that started to build within me, okay? Nothing made sense. Okay, staircases would just suddenly end in midair, or I'd find myself in a stair loop, just going in a never-ending circle. It was like a maze. And now, I'm not talking like a cornfield maze, okay? Those are easy to get out of. But this maze, it was so mind-boggling. I had no way to get out until I saw a person in the distance. And this person was running towards me. And I'm not just saying running, like parkour running, like in Subway Surfers, if that makes any sense. And this person, when he got closer, I realized it was Zack King. And I was right then and there, I knew if anyone's gonna save me from this pit of illusions, then there's no one better than the king of illusions himself. Then Zack said to me, Lane, I know the way out of here. Follow close behind me. We don't have much time. We gotta get out of here right now. And I was like, great, I was hoping you'd show up. In dreams, everything makes sense until you wake up. Then you realize that not much made sense. But anyways, the next thing I know, I'm running behind him. Suddenly, Zack, he just leaps off this staircase, his arms and legs flailing in the air, and he just plummets straight towards the ground. And I'm thinking in my head, what the heck is going on? We need to be going up, not down. But instead of smacking on the ground, he just passed right through it. And he disappeared. Then all of a sudden, I heard Zack's voice way above me, yelling out, in order to go up, you gotta go down. I just went against every fiber in my body, and I leaped off that staircase, falling like a rock. And in a dream, you feel all the emotions. My stomach was swirling around, my eyes clenched shut, and boom, I was there, standing right next to Zack. And it was as if I was teleported up somehow. And I remember peering over the edge, and somehow we were 100 feet higher than where we started. Then Zack said to me, okay, in order to go forwards, you gotta go backwards. And he started up the next staircase, but this time backwards, one step at a time. Anyways, I followed 10 steps behind him, trying not to lose my balance and trip. Who walks up a staircase backwards, okay? This staircase, it extended probably a football field high. It had no railings, no walls, instead just complete drop-offs on each side into the darkness below. And it never seemed to end. Each step going up backwards, it just seemed to take the life force out of me. And I knew one slip, I'd be done. I would just fall. But I just kept telling myself, another one, just one more. My legs were strained, my heart's pounding in my chest. And then, boom! The next thing I knew, I was at the top of the staircase, standing right next to Zack. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, whoa, what's going on here? And then suddenly, right when I thought everything was good, things started to rumble. The ground that we stood on, it began to shake. And we both looked at each other, and Zack yelled out at me. I don't know if Zack yells in real life, but in the dream he did. He said, this is it, it's all or nothing. And I what the? And then just a few feet in front of us, there was the hands of this giant clock tower. Now, I don't know how a clock tower suddenly appears in a dream, but this is what happens in dreams, And this was a clock tower probably the size of Big Ben, maybe even bigger. And I could see that the clock hands, they were moving pretty fast, the speed of a Ferris wheel. And the hands of the clock, they were moving backwards, okay? Counterclockwise. Then the last thing that Zack said to me in the dream was, in order to go forward in time, you need to go backwards in time. We must reach the stroke of 12, is what he said. And as soon as he said those words, he ran forward, leaped, and grabbed onto the giant tip of the minute hand. And, well, I knew I had to do it, so I also jumped up and clenched onto that metal shaft. me and Zack are there dangling right on the minute hand. And it began to take us up counterclockwise towards the top of the clock, towards the 12 o'clock. And this is where it gets absolutely insane, because the whole clock tower begins to shake. And I'm just dangling there like, no! And I can see individual nuts and bolts of the clock just begin to explode. And I'm like, okay, I'm not holding on much longer. My fingers are starting to slip, my fingernails grinding into the metal. And I knew this was the end. I felt like I was gonna die. But I held on everything I could, and we swung past each giant number on the clock. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. And then all went dark. And I woke up. I don't even know if I escaped or not, but I knew right then I just had the craziest dream of my life. And I don't know if there's a deeper meaning or not, but because of that dream, that's why I'm drawing Zack King. Wait a second. I'm supposed to be talking about this drawing, huh? Oh, snap. I forgot to draw his face. Why is there a giant hole in his head? What was I thinking? Just kidding. This is all part of the plan. I might be able to stick my hand through it, and I'm not gonna tell you yet. This, right here, right now, will bring it all together and reveal to you Zack King's biggest secret. I'm sure you all know that Zack's been doing magic for like quite a long time now. I don't know when you first saw a Zack King video, but for me, it was on something called Vine. That's where Zack started getting a pretty big following. Now, Vine was an app that had 6-second videos. And back in the day, that seemed really short, but nowadays, a 6-second video is pretty normal, especially on like TikTok or YouTube Shorts. But you see, Vine was like the first video platform to do short videos. But, as some of you might know, a very dark day came, and Vine, well, it died. The grapevine was cut. And, basically Vine went bankrupt. Yeah, it was a sad day. People were crying and screaming, where did Vine go? No, bring it back, please. Or at least that's what I think was happening. Maybe people didn't really care, I don't know. But anyways, because of this, Zack, he started posting more to YouTube and Instagram and TikTok and probably other platforms I don't even know about. Now, there are a few other people that I've seen on YouTube who are doing these type of magic tricks. There was this one drawing illusion that I saw ZHC do with Zack King, of the people out there who know who ZHC is. But anyways, it was like these bits and pieces of drawings on all these different surfaces. Now, from most angles, it just looks like random drawings, but when you move it into a certain position, all the drawings come together and they form a much bigger drawing that's all connected. I mean, it looks really hard to do. I might be able to do something like that. I'm assuming you would have to have like a projector to know exactly where to draw on all those different surfaces. But I'm telling you, nothing compares to some of Zack King's most time-consuming and like elaborate projects. So I don't know all of his biggest videos, but I do know that he did one under the water. Yeah, he had an entire bedroom submerged under the water. The whole room was placed into a giant swimming pool, and he's there having to hold his breath for quite a long time, probably. And the video, I mean, it had something to do with like an Amazon commercial, I think, but there is definitely something with doing things practical. But I gotta say, by far, Zack King's biggest and craziest illusions have been with his short films. And I mean the Stranded series. He's done 3 of these Stranded films. Now, let me know if you've actually seen any of these. I'm hoping that there's at least one of you out there that's, knows what I'm talking about. Anyways, you can see this on YouTube, and there's nothing like these short films, okay? You see, Stranded is a whole bunch of magic tricks and illusions all put together into a storyline, where Zack becomes stranded on an island, and then he makes his way onto a pirate ship. And then, it just gets crazier from there. And you don't really know what's gonna happen next. Oh, wait a second, the drawing. Okay, so we got his face, and his hand is holding his face, or his hand is pulling his face out of his head, or... Okay, this drawing turned out way weirder than I thought. I don't know what's going on here. He kind of looks like a humanoid robot at this point. Okay, so I printed out this picture of a galaxy. It got stars and planets, black holes, space stuff. And this is gonna go right here on the inside of his head. Now, this is like a portal into the universe. And then we've got, this right here. This is the ultimate power source. It's like an alien sunball. It pulls energy from space and beyond. And it's just gonna kind of flow right here. But this is the source of his creative mind. where every video idea starts. Oh yeah, and for this part, I meant to draw a blue shirt sleeve, so I went ahead and drew this out. I think it just might add a little bit to the overall drawing. You know, it gives it a little bit more connection to the other drawing, but also I tried to draw Zack having these like colorful galaxy eyes, but they just don't really stand out. So instead, I printed out some galaxy eyes. Now this way, there's a bit of wonder in his eyes, and it kind of looks like his creative brain is seeping through his eyes. Oh yeah, that actually does look pretty cool. I know he still kind of looks like a robot or an AI, but hey, it's up to you, however you see it. The final reveal! There we go! And if Zack King wanted to do an illusion, he can show you what truly lies beneath the power of the universe. You know, this could actually go into like maybe the YouTube Modern Art Museum. I don't know, or hey, maybe Zack King can use this in one of his videos somehow. If you know who Creecraft is, then you definitely need to check out this video right here. It's kind of embarrassing, but also truly amazing. Let me know what you think. And you guys are the best.